On his journey to Europe, Sheikh MBAKE sensed there would be obstacles. There were 200 people on board a fishing boat, packed like sardines, when the engine exploded. Mobile phone footage shows the boat catching fire off the coast of Senegal, with fishermen trying to rescue those they could. MBAKE saw people burnt alive. Sitting next to him was a 14-year-old boy who drowned as others clung to him in panic.
The boy that died and I left for the same reason. There are no schools to go to. The oceans are empty of fish. There are no jobs, no work. In Europe, at least there is hope.
The father of the dead, Doudou Faye, has been arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter for sending his son to Europe. Among the dead was also 29-year-old metal worker and newlywed Hassan Gueye. He heard that aging Europeans dying of coronavirus were leaving jobs vacant for young African men to take. A false rumor, his mourning father explains. He warned his son not to pay the $800 to the traffickers.
For those wanting to go, don't go. I have succeeded in my life here without having to leave. Don't be impatient or tempted by envy.
In the fishing town of Mbour, Europe appears to be so close, with so many tourists who come and go as they wish. But Africans are unable to travel with such ease, even legally, explains migrant rights activist MOUSTAPHA KEBE.
Many here consider Senegal as an open-air prison. Europeans barricade themselves, closing their borders to African countries, while at the same time they ask us to open our markets and borders to them.
While some 500 Senegalese have died this year trying to make it to Europe, almost 1,600, mostly West Africans, arrived in Spain's Canary Islands just last weekend. In the distance is the house belonging to a family who has migrated to Europe. It has running water, electricity, the internet, and here is the construction of another home funded by a migrant that has settled to the United States. Compare this to the homes behind that have hardly any electricity or water. Well, it's that visible difference in wealth with those families that have a relative abroad and those that haven't that is pushing so many families and parents to send their children on boats to Europe, despite the risks. Despite his ordeal, Sheikh MBAKE has the blessing of his parents to attempt the crossing again, fleeing not war or poverty, but in search of a different life, a sense of being worthy to his family and to himself. Nicolas, Haque, Al Jazeera, Mbour.